Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, not tobacco. Sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the world might turn out to be completely wrong.
Hi, I'm Khoo, and this beautiful northern city is now my new home. But I, along with most Swedes, often escape to the tranquility of a little cabin in the countryside.
Look at that! It's huge!
Bit of a mouthful, that, isn't it? My Wallenberger burgers. 2 waffles ready to go. It's not a pea soup without the mustard. A cake worthy of a celebration, I think. Yay! Exploring Sweden and all the culinary delights it has to offer will be the source of inspiration in my Swedish kitchen. Gothenburg is the second largest city in Sweden and the only major city with the Atlantic Ocean as its coastline. From here it is open water all the way to the tip of Scotland. Naturally, fishing has always been very important here. The herring is Sweden's favourite fish. Lately, it has seen its popularity challenged by farmed salmon from Norway. But still, herring is the most Swedish of all fish. If it's not pickled, it's usually breaded and fried. Here in Gothenburg, it is sold on the street as fast food.
Hej, hej! Strömming, hemlagad mos och lingon.
Yeah.
So strömming is?
Herring, fried herring.
Okay, fried herring with homemade mashed potatoes and lingonberry.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I'll have one of those.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, wow, this looks delicious. And look at the herring. The breadcrumbs look so crispy.
Yeah.
But it's not just breadcrumbs, it's that
No, it's
dill.
dill, yeah.
Yeah.
And salt and white pepper.
I love the coating on the fish. It's so crunchy.
This is Fiskekyrka, which means fish church in the local dialect. It was built in 1874 and served as a fish auction until 1910. The church-like windows gave the building its name. On the second floor is a restaurant where, according to its owner, the best shrimp sandwich in the world can be found.
I think we're going to make a traditional Swedish räkmacka.
Räkmacka.
Yeah, prawn sandwich. So we've got our shrimps, prawns, we've got a boiled egg, we've got some saddle leaves. This is a mayonnaise, or
It is.
Yeah, mayonnaise, and that's it. And there's some lemon there as well.
We're gonna make it together.
Yeah.
Super easy. Take the bread.
Shall I butter it?
Yeah, butter it. More.
More. Yeah. Okay. You're
Like basically everything. And I
What?
start. Yeah, we love. Yeah, butter is good.
You know how you put butter on, and when you bite in it, you see your teeth marks.
I love that.
Yes. Okay. Then I understand how much butter you want on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the butter is kind of salty, and it's fat.
All right.
And the shrimps, as you felt, they're actually a little bit sweet.
So this is a very popular sandwich in Sweden, isn't it?
It is.
It is the sandwich to order. They pop up everywhere.
They pop up everywhere.
Like, I've even seen it at like a corner shop, like a newsagent.
I never buy a shrimp sandwich. This is like the shrimp sandwich I would do home. What you do is like it's the perfect couch food. You just bring everything you need. You can do it as you're watching TV or whatever, and share a good bottle of wine or two. But the technique, and especially this time of the year, when they're developing the roe.
Yeah.
The roe isn't under the belly.
Yeah.
The roe is still in the head. So I like the taste of the roe. So what I do is that I take just the top of the head. So I get the roe lift, and then we take the beard.
Yeah.
And off with that.
Yeah.
And then underneath the belly. And then just give it a gently squeeze on the tail. And you should have a...
Amazing. I just learned how to peel prawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
We do 1 layer of mayonnaise on top. And then we cover everything up with...
some salad leaves.
Yeah. And more mayonnaise.
Yes. I like
Because we don't want the shrimps to... When you bite it, you don't want the shrimps to just fall off. You want them to be a little bit sticked in the...
They should glue on.
Yeah. And I take your egg and... The Swedish invention.
Is it Swedish?
I don't know.
Maybe you just made it up. The egg slicer.
The egg slicer. Beautiful boiled egg.
Okay, so we've got bread, we've got a nice layer of salty butter, we've got some mayonnaise, we've got a lettuce leaf, and then we've got some more mayonnaise, and we've got some egg. Shrimps. Is the combinations right on the shrimp sandwich?
Oh, looks lovely.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Very, very appetizing. I think once you've had one of these shrimp sandwiches, you'll never be able to have like a regular shrimp sandwich, will you?
No. What do you call this?
Dill, crown dill.
Crown dill.
Yes, because it's like the dill at the top. Oh, the final touch. How Swedish. This looks beautiful. Wow. That layer of butter makes a difference.
It's good, huh?
Yeah. You're definitely right to be so generous. Worth all that hard work of peeling. Well done.
Though people in Gothenburg swear by their prawns and how to eat seafood the right way, I suspect that even the holy prawn sandwich can be done slightly differently.
Seems like everyone in Sweden has their version of prawns on toast, and here's mine. I'm going to do a party version, which I'm going to use pumpernickel bread.
Pumpernickel is a dark, slightly sweet rye bread, but you can use sourdough or any bread of your preference.
Perfect bite-sized pieces. I'm going to toast them. While that's toasting away, I'm going to make my topping. A little bit of mayonnaise, creme fraiche, some salt, Dijon mustard for a bit of heat. You can add as little or as much as you like. White pepper. Mix that together. Prawns already peeled. Make your life easier. A little bit of dill. Dill is a herb I always associate with Sweden. Comes up so often. That goes in. Save a little bit for later. Give that a little stir. Going to check on the toast now. Before I top these, I need a little bit of butter.
I'm putting on slightly less butter as I have a rich dressing on the prawns.
Try and get the prawns on the toast. It doesn't need to be too much of a heap. People should be able to pop these into their mouth quite easily. Now I've got an extra special touch. A little bit of Kalix rum. So it's a fish roe from the north of Sweden. Looks like little beads. Adds a bit of sweetness. Sweetness and saltiness at the same time. Now, one last thing. You've got the orange going on, but we need a tiny bit more green. A few finely chopped chives. Just makes everything pop. A simple little starter for your party.
In the small village called Assiga on the Swedish west coast is Gudmundsgarden. It is a small pig farm started 20 years ago by Ralph and his wife.
There's been an increase in interest
Yes, of
over
course.
the years?
In these 20 years here in Sweden, we see that people are more and more interested in food quality. And now people want to have local varieties, as a local produced with a historical connection.
It's fantastic. But they look so happy.
Yes. Pigs are very social. They are
Yeah.
not aggressive.
They're like playing and lying
And
in
you
the
see
mud.
also these tails.
Yeah.
Normal why industrial farming
Yeah.
pigs have no tails. You take these tails
Yeah.
because they are so aggressive, they eat each other.
All right.
But here, every pig has his tail. We have responsibility also for these animals here. And if these animals are happy, it's also good for me and my family. I say, we have a good job.
Yeah.
We must save the family farming in whole Europe. This is so important that not everything becomes industrial. We do this now in 20 years,
Yeah.
and it is working.
So what type of pig are these?
Oh, this is a mixture between Swedish land race
Yeah.
and Hampshire.
A
and
British
very old
race?
British race, Hampshire.
What do they eat?
Pigs are all eaters, like human beings, and so they get also a mixture of barley, oat and rye, plus beans.
But they also eat what's found here.
Yes, yes.
So the meat is kind of,
Some worms, insects. No?
yeah,
and so on,
influenced
no?
by the
Yeah.
flavour of this land in
Yes,
Sweden.
that's right. Same in Spain with pata negra ham, or in Parma, this is ham from Italy. We say, oh, this is typical Italy, this is typical Spain, and now we can say this is typical Swedish.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what a beautiful
Yes, yes.
countryside.
You
And you
can
can
see they have in the pool, they are lying in the pool.
yeah, having their spa time.
So I need some pork mince.
Yes, this we can fix because it's quite fresh. Here we have it.
Fantastic. And I also get some of the smoked bacon.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy pigs make good quality meat. I'm off back to my cabin to cook up a traditional Swedish dish, the Valen Burger. It's named after one of Sweden's most well-known industrial families. Naturally, I'll be putting my own twist on this classic and taking some inspiration from fast food. There's nothing worse than a dry, rubbery burger. That's definitely not the case with my Wallenberger burgers. I'm going to start off by making my burger patties. Now, the key to this burger patty is using really rich, indulgent ingredients. You need either some pork mince, or traditionally you would use veal mince, cream, 4 egg yolks. The egg yolks and cream are going to add that richness to the burger. The egg whites you can save to make a meringue. You can even freeze them in an airtight container. They'll keep for a couple months. Generous pinch of salt and lots of white pepper. And then you just want to blend everything together. I'm going to put the mixture in a bowl, and that's going to go into the fridge for about an hour. You want the mince to absorb the cream and the egg yolks. So my mixture's been sitting in the fridge. It's a bit easier to form now. I'm going to roll it in some breadcrumbs. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Toss that through. And then form this into 4 patties. Dip it in the breadcrumbs. Then flip it over to get the other side. And then pop it on a clean plate. And the last one. Right, you'll need a generous dollop of butter in a hot pan to fry your burgers. And when the butter's singing, you can add your patties. You want to fry the patties about 4 to 5 minutes on each side until they've got a golden crust. You see here, it's got a lovely golden colour on them. Crispy too. I'm going to put them on a tray. They're rather thick patties, so they need to go in a preheated oven at 170 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes
just to cook it all the way through. While the burgers are finishing in the oven, I'm going to make my pea puree. I'm going to add some salt to the boiling water and another pinch, just for luck. Peas go in. I'm just using frozen peas. And this takes about 5 minutes to cook. Some lettuce, lingonberry jam, and I've got some brioche burger buns, which I'm going to toast on the fire. I think the peas are done. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, just going to drain them. To finish off my peas, I'm going to blitz them up with some butter. That's always good. A bit of salt. And I have a bit of vegetable stock as well, just a little bit. And then you just need to blend it together. That looks spot on. Give your peas a little taste. Just check if you need a bit more salt. Good. All that's left to do is to assemble everything. I'm using iceberg lettuce, a bit retro, but it's crisp. You don't want fancy rocket, it doesn't work for this. Some lingonberry jam.
If you can't get hold of lingonberry jam, you can use cranberry or red currant jam.
It's definitely not going to be easy to eat. It's a big mouthful, but tasty. Look at that colour. And then pop that on top. My Wallenberger burger, a twist on the Swedish classic. Kladdkaka Swedish chocolate mud cake is super popular at dinner parties because it's easy to make. But what do you do when you have friends who have dietary restrictions? Well, you'll have to make my cake. It's just as tasty and easy to do. So I'm using some sticky sweet dates as my base. It's going to add the sweetness. Put that in the blender. Some espresso. Now what the coffee does is bring out that chocolatey flavour. You want to blitz this until you have a smooth paste. All right. Now this cake is super easy because it's just about adding all your ingredients into the blender. So I've got some non-tasting vegetable oil. You could use coconut butter. Goes in. Some ground flax seeds. That's going to bind everything together. Some black beans, not what you expect to have in a chocolate cake, but it will give it that muddy texture. A little bit of the bean liquid, some vanilla bean paste, cocoa powder, teaspoon of salt, and some baking powder. Okay, that's it. We've got our cake batter ready. I've got a baking tin already lined with some paper, and you just need to pour in your mix. If you wanted to, you could do individual ones, like in a muffin tin. They just take 10 minutes to bake, versus a half an hour for the big one. Spread the mixture. Then that goes in the oven preheated at 200 degrees for about half an hour. You know when the cake is done if you pull out a skewer, and it should be slightly wet on the tip. You don't want it to be completely dry. The cake should feel a little bit muddy. gonna let my cake cool down a little bit, and while that cools, I'm gonna make a really easy icing using avocados. So normally you'd make icing with butter, but we're gonna do a vegan version, just as creamy. So the avocados add that creaminess. Really important you have super soft, ripe avocados. Pop that in your blender. So this cake is vegan. There are no animal products in there. It's also nut-free, refined sugar-free. Basically, it's free from many things, but not free from flavor. Okay, to my icing, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt, cocoa powder, and then the sweetener is gonna be maple syrup. You can add as much or as little as you like. Adjust it to your liking. That's it. Make sure your cake has cooled down first. So you just want to smooth the icing on the top. Okay, I'm gonna add some berries for color. It's quite nice to cut the strawberry in half. Some blueberries. And then I'm just gonna shave some chocolate on. My Swedish chocolate mud cake, one to please everyone.
To visit people who believe so much in what they're doing is truly inspirational, whether it's making the best prawn sandwich or raising the happiest pigs. The more I learn about Swedish food, the more intrigued I become. It's simple yet refined.